Everybody, welcome to the rapid review of the film The Electric State. It's a movie on Netflix if you want to check it out. Let's get to the good, the bad, and the interesting. First, the good. This is actually a decent kids movie. I mean, a little bit older kids, not too young, but it's got futuristic things in it and lots of very cute robots. Older kids might notice a lot of references or innuendos to slavery, racism, immigration. It's not too heavy-handed, but it's pretty obvious. There's some really obvious signs. It's got a little 90s feel to it if you want to feel a little nostalgic too, which is kind of fun. And it's the Russo brothers directing, so obviously it's going to have some throwback music in there too, so you can jam to some of that. Also, should be noted, this is something that I really loved about the movie, is it's got kind of an amazing cast. I'm sure you've seen the press tour. It stars Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown. And what I just found out, by the way, here's a little piece of trivia for you, is Millie Bobby Brown's real middle name is Bonnie Brown, and she just changed it because she felt like it. But her real name is Millie Bobby Brown, and she said in an interview this week that like no one knows that until now. So I thought that was kind of cool to know. But also, so other people who are in this movie, Stanley Tucci, Holly Hunter, Woody Harrelson, Giancarlo Esposito, Jenny Slate, and even Gronk is in this movie. So many of those that I just mentioned are voices of robots, but you'll hear them right away and be like, I know who that is. So that's kind of another really cool thing about the film. Now, for the bad. The dialogue is really forced at times, guys. I don't know what else to say. I understand that this was a screenplay made from a book and that the book has decent reviews, but the dialogue is just really kind of forced, verging on trite, if I'm being honest, and the plot holes are wide open. Some stuff just doesn't make sense, and it's kind of predictable, but I'm not completely trashing the film. I'm just saying you're not going to watch this and be like, oh, that's some of the best dialogue I've ever heard. It's just not. Now, let's get to the interesting. So this was one of my favorite parts of the movie. Another cast member that I did not mention in the list that I gave you before is Qwerky Kwan. And I don't know if I'm saying that right. I really hope I am. You may remember him recently for winning the Oscar. I think it was 2 years ago, last year or the year before, for his role in Everything Everywhere All at Once. So he's in this movie. He's got kind of a pivotal role, which it's great that he's getting more roles now since we didn't really see him that much before Everything Everywhere All at Once. But the really cool thing is that he was in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. There are multiple references to that movie throughout this one. So for example, there is a minecart chase that happens in this movie, which is a direct reference, if you've seen Temple of Doom, to that movie. There's also, and this one's much more obvious, the robot played by Jenny Slate, voiced by Jenny Slate, called Penny Pal, which I think is a great name for, she's a robot male person. So Penny Pal, that's very good. Very creative. She does this thing where when she fights other robots to kill them, she smashes her hand into their chest and pulls out basically their heart. It doesn't pulse in her hand because I think that would be too obvious, but it's an obvious reference and homage to Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And I love that they have Short Round in the movie with it. So it kind of all comes together, a little Easter egg for you to check out. And I don't even think it's on IMDb trivia yet. So there's a fun one for you to catch because the movie, I'm reviewing this like the day it came out. Oh, also another little quick interesting tidbit is they mistagged Holly Hunter in IMDb. So the actual Holly Hunter page isn't correctly tagged, at least as of me recording this in IMDb. It tags some random Holly Hunter. So I thought that was weird too. So basically, in conclusion, I don't think you need to see this. It's a decent background movie, like leave it on and you can just kind of pay attention every once in a while, but you're not going to be like, oh, I'm so glad I saw this movie. You really don't have to pay attention to it too much. You're not going to get lost in the story. And if anything, you're going to be like, wait, that doesn't make sense for how this goes over here. So not a go rush and see it, but you know, it's there. Feel free if you want to. If you're fans of the Russo brothers, you can add it to your checklist, but otherwise I probably wouldn't rush to check it out. Now slow down and watch a flick.